Welcome to another edition of Cook with the Wind King. Me, Olu Babalona. Today we're going to cook garlic parmesan chicken wings. Keep it simple this week. I think I'm going to go through a bunch of my different wings, show you how I do them, so that you can cook them exactly the same way you get out at home. I get a bunch of people in the comments or in my Instagram more saying, oh, I wish Wing Kings was here, I wish Wing Kings was there. It's not yet, it's coming. But until then, just watch this channel and learn how to cook wings the way I cook them. You know, these games were fun, but now the fun's over. It's time to go to work.
In there, relax ball below and finish at the rim.
To get the ball inside. Moments ago, that good penetration, finding that open jumper for the three, but they've got to keep Ford on him.
My name is Olu Babalona, former professional basketball player, now cooking buffalo wing based chicken wings. Chicken wings. So now we'll do the blue cheese. So the ingredient list, we're gonna cook 10 wings. So that's 5 whole wings. We'll cut them in the middle. So we got the wings, about a tablespoon of chopped parsley. Use fresh. If you want to go with dried, you can use a bit less. And it changes the way you use them within the wings, because if you use dried, you can put that in the butter before you melt it, whereas with fresh, you don't want to put that on until the very end. So go with fresh parsley. You go with as much or as little garlic as you like. I'm going to use 2 big cloves. I got 3 here, but I'm going to use 2 because this one's huge. So 2 cloves of parsley, Italian herbs, a herb blend. Italian is the best one for this because being that these are garlic parmesan, obviously that's Italian flavors. So get you some of that. Use hard cheese. So for the parmesan cheese for this, don't use Reggiano because it's too strong. People think that it's called like Gran Padano or something. People think it's like it's got a bad name, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just more mild. So if you need your parmesan to be strong in like a pasta sauce or something, then go with the Reggiano. But for the wings, there's so much other flavors in there. You got the garlic, you got the butter, you know, the seasoning. That cheese will be better off if it's more mild, right? Egg to help bind the flour. Butter, about 3 tablespoons of butter. And in here is a mixture of self-raising flour and corn flour. A cup of self-raising flour and half a cup of corn flour, right? So that's all you need for this. Cool. So now we'll get started. I showed you how to do this in I think my first video. I remember chicken, you shouldn't cut through any bone whenever you're going through chicken. Whenever you're deboning or butchering down the chicken. So it's just bang in the middle, cut in between the ligament there, and we'll go right through. Make sure you got a nice sharp knife. Cut through, put them in your mixing bowl, right? Once you've gone through all the wings, 5 wings, so now you've got 10 wings done. You want to use your Italian herb mix on the chicken, right? So just put a little bit on there. There's herbs in there, right? It's not just like a seasoning, there's herbs, dried herbs, so you don't want to put too much in because it will burn. So just put a tad bit in there, like a real small bit, a teaspoon, and put 2 teaspoons in the flour mix, right? You want to season it up, mama seasoning, okay? That's 3 teaspoons. Once you got the seasoning in, mix that in. Then you want to put your egg in and mix again, right? So it has to be in that order. Seasoning, egg, mix. Get that all in, no shell. Mix that up. Make sure you get all the chicken coated in all the egg, right? But the most part that gets away usually is the corner. There.
That was easy.
Make sure you got egg in there, right? don't just pour it in there because you're going to pour all the egg in and it gets too messy. So just get all this, take them out of the egg and then throw it in the flour. Once that's done, you want to make sure you fully cover that chicken in all the flour. And this is where you pick up the chicken wings and make sure that part has got the flour in there, right? So fully cover it. And that's it. Once that's done, throw it in the fryer, 175. 10 wings take about 8 to 12 minutes, right? So now what we do, in the bowl, make sure this bowl's going in the microwave. So don't use a silver bowl like what we put the wings in, alright? You want to put your butter and your garlic in, yeah? So what you're doing now is making a garlic butter. Right now there's tons of different fancy ways of making garlic butter, but for this, we're just going to melt it in the microwave together, alright? So I've got 3 tablespoons actually of butter in there, and I put the 2 cloves in there. We're going to melt that, and then once that's melted, you want to do that right at the end, so when your wings are cooked, right? Because there's a little method, a little trick you want to do with the oil that the chicken is cooked in. So melt the butter down, make sure it's fully melted, and then we're going to grab the wings and throw them in this bowl, and we're going to use some of that oil that the wings are cooked on, to mix with the butter, emulsify together, right? But it sounds tricky, but it's not. Just trust me, watch me, it's real easy, right? Once your wings are cooked, this is why I was looking at the oil and the butter. Don't use too much butter because you're going to use the oil to mix with the butter to make it sauce, right? So there's no measurement to this, right? It's just take the wings out and don't let them drain. Take them out, throw them straight in. That amount of oil will be enough to mix with the butter. When you've done that, you want to get your grated Parmesan in. Toss, but don't toss too crazy because you don't want to lose that crispy batter. Once you put enough Parmesan in, which for 10 wings, a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons enough. Just whatever, have a look, see what you like. Put that on, then chop parsley at the very end, and you're good to go. Alright, so take them out, don't wait too long, throw it right in there. That excess oil is enough to make the sauce. So now, get your cheese in them. Use a really fine grater because you want the cheese to melt as well. And the heat from the wings that cooked is the best way to melt the cheese. Don't put the cheese in the microwave. It'll get really messy and tacky and it will all clump together and it won't look good at all. So, get that cheese on. Mix again. Once you're ready to plate up, chop your parsley down. Get the wings. Get them in. A little bit of cheese on top for the garnish. And then your parsley. Garlic Parmesan chicken wings. Thanks again for watching another episode. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I might do some more wings. Just see what the feedback is from these ones though. But please like, subscribe, share these videos. Let's get this all over YouTube. Let's get really big. Alright, thanks again. Welcome to another episode, Cook with the Wing Kings. We took a break because